Here we go. We're working on point slope form. So you may be wondering, well, why do I even need to know this thing? Like, why do I need point slope form? Well, here's the thing. All right. If you have a graph and you're graphing in slope intercept form, slope intercept form is beautiful. All right. There's nothing wrong with slope intercept form, but you need to know your slope, right? Your rate of change. And you would need to know your y value of your y-intercept in order to create an equation in y equals mx plus b. All right, you're trying to create something in slope-intercept form. You need a slope and you need a y-intercept. So what if you were given something like this? What if you were given, 2 points? I really don't know. I'm not going to relate these 2 points to this graph because that's not accurate. But let's just say you were given a point here, point 1, and you were given some other point over here, point 2. Graph it in slope-intercept form. Well, in order to use that, you would have to find the slope between the 2 points, and then you'd have to find a way to basically recreate this thing and solve for your y-intercept by taking what you know in an equation, plugging in one of the points, and solving for your y-intercept. It ends up creating a decent amount of struggle. So to show you what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and maybe we'll just do this problem together. We have these 2 points. Complete the point slope form equation. Before I even reveal the point slope form equation, let's first just say, well, I'm going to need the slope no matter what, okay? But I'm actually going to first do it in slope intercept form to show you the work that would be required every single time if you wanted to do this in slope intercept form. Either way, point slope form, slope intercept form, you need to find the slope. So we're going to find our change in y, all right, over our change in x, our slope or our rate of change, however you want to look at that. Our change in y from -1 to 2, it is increasing by 3. From 1 to 5, it is increasing by 4. So our rate of change is 3/4, or our slope is 3/4. And that will come into play with the point slope form in a second. But let's first just focus on this over here. Let's look at slope intercept form. So we know the m, right? We know the slope. So we have y equals 3/4 x plus b. And that's supposed to be an x, and that's supposed to be a plus sign. All right, we know the slope is 3/4. And we also know 2 points that this line goes through. So you're going to want to choose one of these points. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Choose one of these points, and then you're going to substitute it in for y over here and in for x over here. I like to do the positive one just because it seems a little easier to me. Just seeing the positive numbers makes me shine, makes me happy. All right, so 2 is our y value. 2 equals 3/4 times our x value, which is 5, plus b. Follow the order of operations to solve for your b value, which is your y-intercept. Now we're going to solve for the y-intercept by following some order of operations and balancing of the equation. We can multiply those together. So we got 2 equals 3 times, this is like 5/1, right? 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 1 is 4. So you get 15/4 plus b. To get your y-intercept, you take away 15/4 from both sides. And this is where it helps to be good at fractions on this problem, because that's not too easy, but 2 is the same thing as 8/4. So 8 minus 15, that's going to give us a negative, what was that, -7/4. All right. So we end up with -7/4 is the y-intercept. So to create this equation that we're, to create an equation in slope intercept form, right? Up here, slope intercept form, what you have to do is find the slope, which we did, check. In fact, I'll box that. Actually, I'll box that in a different color. Let's do red. So I want to pop out a little bit. We found our slope, and then we plugged in or substituted in one of the points, used the slope in slope intercept form to solve for a y-intercept. That's a lot of work to get. This is what the equation would be. Y equals 3/4 x plus, minus 7/4. This would be the equation in slope intercept form. Look at all the work here I did in pink. And all this work right over here, right? Like all that work, that's a good chunk of work just to get an equation. And so what humans realized over time was that, well, instead of using this, we can basically counteract a lot of these steps. And I'm not going to get into that in this video, but we can basically counteract all these steps and concise it down to a different form of an equation. So instead of doing all this work, why not do this in a different way? All right. And so here's the equation for point slope form. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, I'll leave that stuff there. The equation is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The key is that you're going to need a point. In a point, it doesn't matter which point you choose. We'll just choose 5 and 2. Wait, no. In this case, Khan Academy's already decided for us. They've already put a point in there. Since they use -1, that means they use this one right here. So we're going to use this first point here. Khan Academy's already declared it, and we'll get into that in a second here. You're going to need the slope, which we already found, right? And you need to find a y1 and an x1 value, which basically means just find the coordinates of one of the ordered pairs. We're going to use this first one. So our x value is 1. So our x1 is going to be 1. Our y1 is -1. And what you do is you just plug those in. So you would have y minus our y1 value, which we're using in this ordered pair. So it's -1 equals our slope, 3/4 times x minus our x1 value, which is 1. You know, what's nice is Khan Academy, they just want you to create the equation. There's not a whole lot you need to do with it. And they tell you which point to use based upon what numbers in this location on the y side. So in this case, we have 3/4 times x minus 1. All right. And that will be our equation here in point slope form. Let me clear this off, and then what we'll do is we will completely do this. So first, you're going to need to get this into y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1 form. That is the point slope form equation. You know, we say slope intercept form, y equals mx plus b. This is point slope form. All right, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, how do you want to read that? You need to find your slope. You need to find a ordered pair. All right, so there's 3 things that you need. All right, you need a point, which is an ordered pair, and you need a slope. Let's first look on the slope. Change in y from 6 to -8. It's going down 6 plus 8. It's going down 14. From 3 to 5, it's increasing by 2. So the slope is -7. All right, so we know that we have a slope of -7. And they've already given us in Khan Academy, it's y minus 6. So we have y minus 6 equals 7 times x minus, and in this case, our ordered pair, let me erase these things over here real quick. Our ordered pair, they're talking about 6, so it has to be this one right here. All right, so this is the ordered pair we're going to have to work with. 6 is the y value that we used already, so we now got to use 3. It would just be 7 times, and in parentheses, x minus 3. The slope is calculated, right? We've already learned that like a week or 2 ago. You got to calculate slope from 2 points, all right? That's something we always need to know how to do. Basically, from here on out, that's where the slope came from. The y1 in this case was decided for us by Khan Academy. They chose which of those points to use. And then the x sub 1, you have to figure out the point that goes with this value over here. Like, they chose the y value to kind of help you out. Now you got to figure out what's the x value. So this one right here, the answer is 7 times x minus 3. You're only doing the right-hand side of the equation. Oh my goodness, did I make a mistake? Uh-oh. Is it the slope? Is it the point? I don't know. Let's see what I did wrong. 6 to -8, that's a drop of 14. From 3 to 5, that's an increase of 2. That's -7, right? Oh, I didn't type my negative. Bummer. And I didn't write it over there too. Bummer. Got one wrong. Well, I learned from my mistake. There should be a negative there in front of the 7. All right. So you win some, you lose some, guys. It's just the way it is. Got to get this into point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. And they already have the 4 here, so I already know it's going to be this point that we're using, all right, for this piece over here. Let's calculate our slope. From 4 to 1, our change in y is a -1. From 7 to 2, our change in x is a -5. So the slope is going to be positive 1/5, all right? So we're going to have y minus 4 equals 1/5 times x minus, and since they use 4, that means that we're using this point here, it would have to be the 7, the x value that goes with it. You need 2 points to calculate slope. But once you know what your slope is, you only need one ordered pair to create point slope form. You need a point, one point, and the slope. So there you go. And there's the answer. That's good. Let's do one more here. Again, y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. All right, that's supposed to be a minus symbol. They've already declared for us -6, so we're working with this ordered pair in the end. But first, our slope, I'll go this way. From -8 to 6, that means it's increasing by 14. From -7 to -9, it's decreasing by 2, so the slope is -7. That's like the problem prior, but I think it's different numbers now. X minus 6, so it used this y value, so we have to use that x value. So it's x minus a -9, which turns into +9. I'm curious if it'll accept minus a -9. It may take it. Let's see. All right, it took it. I will let you know as you move further down the road, you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to convert subtracting a negative into addition. For now, you're learning a new skill, not a big deal. All right, I think this is one of those skills where you're going to get some wrong, but I think after redoing the problems maybe three or four times, you'll ace it. You'll feel good about yourself. All right. As always, let me know if you need any help. I think you guys are off to a good start on the slope stuff, though. Keep it up.